friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. If you are new here, every Sunday I post a pick a card tarot reading and I allow all of you to vote and let me know what you'd like to see next. And for this week, I should say, the winner of the last poll was the love letter from your future spouse. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So we have three options. Option number one is going to be Cinderella and Prince Charming, and that is the Ten of Pentacles. Option number two is going to be Prince Phillip and Sleeping Beauty, and that is the Lover's card. And option number three is going to be Princess Ariel and Prince Eric, and that is option number three with the Four of Wands. So ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you, and let's talk about what is going to be answered during this reading. Okay, so for this reading, we are going to be doing a love letter from your future spouse, and this is going to be a reading where I will be shuffling live on camera. So for pile number one, we are going to be using the Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot deck, and this is a new deck, and this is what it looks like. Just want to show you some cards to help you decide. For pile number two, we are going to be using the Era's Tarot with Taylor's version, and this is what that looks like. So just want to show you that one so that you know what to expect. And for pile number three, we will be using the Modern Love Tarot. And for that one, that is what we're going to be using. So keep that in mind. But as far as what's going to be answered during this reading, we are going to kick off by looking at who is your future spouse. We're going to get some information about who this person is, just personality wise, what are they like? Then we're going to start by looking at the intro of my love. So if they could say anything and it could start with my love, what would they say? And this is looking at what your future spouse wants to say right now. Then we're going to do the prompt of here's how you'll recognize me. And this is what will help you know that it's them when you meet them, when you connect with them. Then we're going to look at I feel in love with, and this is going to tell you what they admire, love most about you. The love I'll offer you will be like, and that is going to answer how they will love you. So how is this person going to show their love for you? We're then going to move into a moment or memory that I love, and this is a glimpse into the future that you are going to share together. And then we're looking at across time and space I am sending you. So what is this person energetically sending you at this time? Then we're going into right now, and this is going to tell you what is your person up to at this point in time. Then we're looking at please know this, and this is a reassurance or a vow that your future spouse is making and sending your way. And then we're going to close it off with until then, and this is guidance for you. And then we have some cards that are meant to give you more information about the relationship and for you in general. So if this sounds like something that you want to hear more about, stick around. If this is where you leave me, I hope you come back soon, and I hope you have a great week. But let's get started. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Cinderella and Prince Charming card, and this is the 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to place that right over there. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. So I did do a reading breakdown, and it is time-stamped below, and it's going to tell you exactly what's going to be answered during this reading, and it's going to show you the decks that are going to be used for each pile. So I highly, highly suggest that you check that out. But to get started, we are going to look at who is your future spouse. Let's take a look. So we have the nightingale, we have the hawk, and we have a passion. Very interesting. I actually got to feed a hawk today, so that was exciting. That was one of the first ones. Anyways, so pile number one, who is your future spouse? I do want to say in this deck, the nightingale and the hawk are represented by air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius can be significant here. With the passion card, it could be some fire energy that is significant here as well, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But pile number one, who is your future spouse? I feel like this is somebody who is very action oriented, somebody who is a go-getter, somebody who is very ambitious, and also somebody who is very aware of what they want in life. So they are able to go and create the life that they want. This doesn't feel like somebody who sits around and waits for things to happen for them. This feels like somebody who is out there making sure that they are creating the right opportunities for themselves. And I think that has to do with all areas of life, right? Love, career, finances, personal life, anything that they set their mind to, they are going to create it. I also think with the nightingale being here, there's something about your future spouse's voice or something about the way that they speak or the way that they use their voice, right? So this could be somebody that is very intentional about what they say, how they say it, and how they express themselves, not only by the words that they are saying, but by the actions that they are taking. I also think that this is somebody that has a very strong throat chakra, somebody who their truth, their authenticity, and making sure that they are in alignment with their values, with their morals, and with their integrity, like they are remaining within their integrity, is very important for this person. I do have to say, pile number one, I do think your person is a little bit more of an extrovert, though they could be a bit more ambivert, or they could be somebody, for a few of you, I could see this person being introverted, but even if they are introverted, they know how to turn on and how to be around people and how to socialize and how to network and market themselves. Like I really do feel that this is somebody that is always kind of moving forward and kind of focusing on creating the right connections and making sure that they are taking advantage of the people that they meet, especially when it comes to like career, finances. Like this feels like somebody who wants to put their best foot forward and know the right people and network and figure out ways to get ahead, if you will. I also think that this is somebody who is very helpful to others. That's coming through very clear here. And I also think that your future spouse is very passionate, that your future spouse is somebody who cares very deeply about the opportunities that show up for them, but also about the people, their loved ones, like the people that they connect with, their loved ones, and what it is that they do. So this feels like somebody that what they do for a living is something that they care about. And if it's not necessarily their career, there's something that this person is involved with that feels like a passion project, that feels like it helps them connect to their higher self or connect to their purpose in some way. And I also think that this person has a strong connection to music, especially when it comes to like if they're having a bad day or if they need to go work out. Like music seems like a go-to for this person. For some of you, this could be somebody that is a musician, but take that as it resonates. I also think that your future spouse is very instinctual. Like this is somebody who's very good at reading energy and at figuring out what has to happen, what is coming next, and what the right or the best next move is for them. I also do think that this is somebody that has the ability to see the bigger picture and to take a step back and figure out what comes next. So this feels like somebody who is very good at bigger picture, especially when they are struggling or when they're going through something that feels very heavy. They're able to take a step back and check in with themselves. I do think at times, though, because they're so good at seeing the bigger picture and because they're so good at seeing different angles to things or different outcomes, that can create a little bit of stagnancy where this person can overthink and overanalyze. But I also think that for most of you, your future spouse is in a place where they've been working on this and they've been working on self-trust and on trusting themselves to make the choices that are right for them. But I also think that your future spouse is someone who has a very strong connection with the divine, with some sort of spiritual belief, or it could even be religious belief for some of you. But this does feel like somebody that has some sort of connection to something outside of themselves, to something bigger than themselves. And for some, it's going to be like spirituality. For others, it's going to be religion. Take it as it resonates. And this could be somebody that grew up in a religious household and they're kind of in a place where they're more spiritual now. That could be the case. It could even be vice versa, right? Where they grew up in a more spiritual household and they find a religion that they are more, that they're able to connect with and it feels familiar to them. But I will say, I don't think for the grand majority of you, this is somebody who's necessarily religious. I think for most of you, this person is more spiritual. Like, this doesn't feel like somebody who is necessarily going to church every Sunday, for example. So take that as it resonates. And I will say, even though this is somebody who is very good at identifying bigger picture, this is also somebody who can focus in, and this is somebody who really picks up on the little details as well. And I think that your future spouse is someone that when you are in a relationship with them, when you are in a connection with them, they are going to make sure that they're doing the little things, that they're showing up and doing the little things for you, the things that matter, and that they are very detail oriented. I also think that for some, this could be somebody that is in a career that requires them to have a level of attention to detail, and they're very good at picking out what's not working or picking out what needs to improve, especially in like a career setting. For some of you, this person could be in STEM, this person could be a teacher, this person could be in medicine of some sort. This could be somebody that works like a more analytical type of job as well. But this, for most of you, I do think this is somebody who's going to have like a 9 to 5 type of job, type of career. This doesn't necessarily feel like an entrepreneur for most of you, though again, it is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. But pile number 1. We're going to start by shuffling, and we're going to look at if your future spouse could say anything to you, what would they say? So we're going to start by saying, my love. That's going to be the prompt, and what we're looking for is what your future spouse wants to say to you right now. Like, what's the first thing that your future spouse's higher self wants to say to you right now? For my pile number 1s, what does my pile number 1's future spouse want to say right now? So my love, we're starting this out. Your future spouse is starting this out by saying, my love, and let's see what we have here. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Hierophant. Let's see what else we have here. So we have the Emperor. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the Star card. Okay. So pile number one, I think one of the first things that your future spouse wants you to know is that they're already thinking of you. This is coming across as, my love, I just want you to know that I am already thinking of you. I am planning our future together, and I am preparing for this union. I think that your future spouse, pile number one, is in a place where they're becoming the best version of themselves and they are building the life that they want you to join them on. For many of you, your future spouse is currently focused on career and finances and on becoming more stable in their own life so that they are in a good place to welcome you in, so that they are in a place that when you meet and when you connect, they can make time for the connection and for the relationship so that they're not having to work multiple hours or long hours at the office. They want you to know that they are focusing on their future, but that they envision you, their future spouse, in this future with them. So a lot of what they are working towards and a lot of what they are focused on is creating a future for both of you. And whether you know this person or not, it does feel like your future spouse is saying that they know that you exist, that they know that you are their person, and that they can already feel the connection to you. I also think that your future spouse wants you to know that they're sending you a lot of love and a lot of care, and that there is a connection between the both of you at this point where you can both invite each other into your dreams, where you can talk to this person's higher self, where you can talk to your spirit guides, to your angels, to your spirit animals, and to this person's spirit team as well, in order to connect with each other. Your future spouse wants you to know that they are already envisioning this future with you, and they cannot wait. And I think a big message that is coming through from your future spouse, pile number one, is saying, just even though I haven't met you, or even though we haven't connected and we're not together in this present moment, I already know that you exist, and I already know that you are the right person for me. I can feel your energy the same way that you can feel my energy. And your future spouse wants you to know that what you wants you back, and that you have this desire for this connection because it's meant to be, because both of you are manifesting each other, and both of you are getting closer to that point in time where you can connect with one another. And your future spouse, in the meantime, is focusing on work, on career, on finances, and on becoming the best version of themselves. So again, when you join them, you both have a strong foundation to get started on. And I think that this person spends so much time just envisioning what that's going to be when you both connect with one another. Let's take a look at here's how you'll recognize me. So what will help you recognize your future spouse? What is going to help you know that it's them? So we're going to ask your future spouse's higher self, I should say, how you'll recognize them, how you'll know it's them. For my pile number ones, how will my pile number ones know that they have met their future spouse? Bottom of the deck, the Hanged Man. We also have the Three of Swords. That's very interesting. And we have the Nine of Cups. actually, that's very sweet because pile number three, sorry, pile number one. Pile number one, your future spouse wants you to know that the way that you'll recognize them is because when you meet, when you connect with them, you're going to feel present. You are going to feel grounded in the present moment, and you are going to recognize that this is the person that you have been waiting for, and that this is the person that you have been asking for. Now, the reason you will recognize that is because through getting to know them, through seeing how they are, and through allowing them to show you who they are, you are going to feel this healing energy where you will be able to be grounded, present, and you will feel comfortable being your authentic self and being vulnerable. And you're also going to feel this sense of safety. I really do feel that part of how you are going to recognize your future spouse is as you get to know them. And I think early on there's going to be a level of comfort that you are going to experience where you when you are around one another, but especially as you get to know them, you are going to realize that it feels comfortable, it feels safe, it feels natural, it feels easy. This is somebody that is going to make you feel at ease, and this is somebody that you're going to have a very good time with. So being able to talk and have a good time and open up and allow them to see all aspects of you is going to come through. And I also think that this is going to come in almost when you least expect it, where it may take you by surprise, but at the same time, it just feels right. It just feels like this is exactly where I am supposed to be. And there's a level of trust and ease going with that. And this is somebody who's going to, I think your future spouse is going to be very intentional about their desires, about their intentions. But at the same time, they're not going to rush you. They're not going to try to move forward too fast. It feels like this is somebody who is intentional. They're telling you where they're at. They're telling you what their intentions are, and they're showing you what their intentions are. But at the same time, they're also being they're allowing it to unfold naturally. So I think for this group especially, it's not necessarily that you're going to know immediately by looking at this person, but I think that the initial attraction is going to be there. But the more that you get to know them, the more ease you experience, the more you can trust them, and the more that this kind of unfolds in a very organic type of way. And there will be that sense of this feels right, and I think this is the person I've been waiting for. But above all of that, this person is going to show you that they are the person that you've been waiting for. That's actually very beautiful. So I fell in love with, we're going to look at what your future spouse is going to admire and love most about you. So what is it that your future spouse fell in love with and still loves about you, right? So we're talking to your future spouse in a love letter. So from the future, what is this person? I dropped it. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. And it kind of fell, so we have the 7 of Wands. I'm going to keep it in reverse because it fell that way. Then we have the King of Cups. And we also have the 6 of Wands. So pile number 1, you come into this person's life like a wrecking ball. I don't think they necessarily, I don't think your future spouse necessarily expected you or expects you to show up when you do show up in their life. And I think there is almost like a lightning bolt this feels significant. I really like this person. I'm really into this person. But there's also a level of surprise to this. And I want to emphasize that the Tower card is not a bad card. It's a card that speaks to something unexpected and almost having the rug pulled from underneath you. And it feels like that's exactly how your future spouse is going to feel. And I feel like part of what they love about you is who you are and all of the changes that you create in their life. I also think that one thing that your future spouse is really going to love about you is the fact that because they know you, because they met you and because you enter their life, it almost feels like this person was able to let their guard down and this person was able to allow love in. Because I do think this is somebody that desires love, and I do think that this is somebody that wants to experience a healthy relationship. But I also think that your future spouse is going to be a little bit surprised by the strength of the bond and your ability to just disarm their walls and their self-protection, because it does feel like your future spouse is somebody who, they're very careful about who they allow near them, and this is somebody who I think for most of you has had experiences that have been a little bit difficult. But what they're saying here is what they love about you is your ability to bring their guard down, your ability to enter their life and make it better and create change for the better. I also think this is speaking to you make your future spouse a better version of themselves and you make them happy and you make them feel like they are on top of the world, right? We have the Six of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and we have this King of Cups. So you make them feel things that they did not know they could feel, or at least to the depth that they feel it with you. You make them feel these like gushy, warm, loving feelings, romantic feelings, but it's also deeper than that. There is that sense of I can fully trust this person. And again, part of this feels like it catches your future spouse by surprise, but it's something that they love so much about you. And I think part of what they also love about you is just the life that you are going to create together and all of the potential that you have together. So there's a lot of like opportunities for both of you to create the life that you both want. And I do think that this is a connection and relationship where both of your outlooks for the future are very much in alignment with each other. And again, there's a level of trust and ease in this connection where for both of you, you're able to let your guard down and you're able to let the other person in. And I also think that one thing that your future spouse is going to love about you is how kind you are, how loving you are, how emotionally secure and available you are, and how you offer them that, how you offer them that emotional availability, that emotional security, that sense of coming home and being safe with one another. Like there's almost an element to this that feels like I know you've got my back regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's happening in our lives. I know you've got my back. I know that I can count on you, and I know that you're going to be around. You're not just going to quit and run off when things get hard. You're not just going to find something more exciting if things get a little bit if there's a little bit of a routine happening for us. So this is very honestly very emotional. Let's see what's underneath there. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. I think on top of the relationship aspects, both of you are going to experience abundance in the life that you build together. So let's take a look at the love I'll offer you will be like. So, what is this person's love style? How are they going to love you? For my pile number ones, how is this person going to love my pile number ones? Let's do 3. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. I just heard, how do you want to be loved? Which is, oh, I like that. All right, let's see what we have here. The Hermit. The 10 of Cups. Okay. And the 2. Wow. Okay. So, pile number 1. One of the things that I heard is, how do you want to be loved? And I think what that means is, I'm going to love you in the way that you need to be loved at that point in time. What does that mean? What do you need today, right? Are you having a hard day? Do you need me to love you by, making you a bubble bath and taking care of you and taking care of dinner, or at least, doing the takeout, like going out for food or taking you out to dinner? Or do you need me to love you by giving you space today? Do you need me to love you by listening today? Do you need me to love you by offering advice? Do you want me to go fix it? This person's style, how they're going to love you, is almost in an unconditional way. And I always say almost because for the most part, adult relationships are conditional, right? If certain expectations aren't being met, if certain things aren't being done, or if certain things are betrayed, then obviously it's not unconditional anymore. But I do think for my pile number ones, the way that your future spouse is going to love you, there's almost an element that's very close to unconditional, because there's a very strong bond between the both of you. We have the 10 of Cups, we have the 2 of Cups, we also have the Hermit card. I think both of you are going to have a deep connection to each other, to the point where it's almost like your future spouse is going to know what you need. Now, obviously, you still have to talk things out, and sometimes there will be disagreements. But I almost feel like this person is going to be very good at figuring out what you need most of the time and being able to offer that. I also think that there is a very sweet, like just friendship based, passionate, there's a lot of chemistry here. And I think that a lot of how this person, this future spouse, is going to love you is going to be by understanding what you need, either because you are both communicating about it. And I do feel like this is somebody who's going to ask the right questions, right? So this doesn't feel like the type of person that is just going to show up and try to figure it all out for you. They may ask, like, what do you need from me today, right? Do you need me to show up and listen? Do you need me to go out there and fix it? Do you need a break, right? We went over that already. Your future spouse is going to be very intentional about asking you what you need and then giving you what you need, showing up and saying, I know this is what you need and this is what I'm offering you. I also think that this is somebody that really enjoys, I would say, like acts of service and words of affirmation. So in the way that your future spouse loves you is by doing the things, by showing up and showing you that they love you and telling you that they love you. Physical touch can also be one of these love languages here, but it feels like your future spouse is very intentional about showing you that they love you and keeping the connection alive, keeping the romance alive. And I think the physical part of this relationship is going to be very, very passionate and a very important part of the relationship that is always going to be nourished. Like, you're going to keep the romance alive. You are going to keep the intimacy alive. So next we have a moment or a memory that I love. So what is a moment or memory that your future spouse loves, right? So this is a glimpse into your future together, a memory or moment that your your future spouse loves, that you share together. Bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. I don't know why. I just got like, there may be a vacation that's a bit sketchy, but it becomes one of those things like maybe while you're in it, like it's the sketchiest vacation, it's the sketchiest place. Because look at this. And then you remember it and you're like, remember that one time we went to X, Y, and Z and it was just terrible, but it brought us closer together. It kind of it signified, like it really solidified our relationship and our ability to have a good time no matter what. We have the Knight of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is sweet. And the 3 of Cups. So, pile number 1. What your future spouse wants you to know is that all of the memories that you make together are unforgettable. And your future spouse is coming in and saying, I don't want you to think that there's just one important one or one special one, because we have so many special ones together. For some of you, it's going to be, one that stands out is going to be like a vacation that you take and you end up in a place and things don't necessarily go according to plan, but at the same time, it's one of the best vacations that you have because of all of the shenanigans that happen. For others of you, it's just romantic nights out. It's going for walks and just talking. It's the days that you stay or the nights that you stay on the phone and just talk to one another, or the restaurants that you visit, the nights that you go dancing, the days that you go for a hike. This is also saying for some of you, a lot of these memories are going to be made with loved ones. So if you are somebody that you want to build a family, you want children, your future spouse is saying one of the memories that I will never forget is when we have our child or our children, right? The family that we build, the time that we spend with your in-laws, my in-laws, right? With the in-laws, right? Your parents, my parents, your family, my family. And we build this close bond. It's also about the times that we spend with our friends, right? Because I do think that this is a connection where it's like your friends become their friends and vice versa. So it's really, you are both building a community, and your future spouse wants you to know there are so many memories and that they would have a very hard time picking just the one, because there's so much to be chosen from. There's so much that has happened and there's so much that will happen, right? Because this is your future spouse coming in almost like a love letter from your future spouse from the future. So this is saying it's not just one thing, and it would be very hard for me to choose the one thing. But just know that there's so much that we are going to experience together. There's so much that we are going to go through together, and all of it is going to make us stronger. All of it is going to make us just build these beautiful memories, and they're going to make us happy, and they're going to bring a smile to our faces whenever we think about these times. And I'm almost even hearing like even those times when we're not getting along or we're having an argument or a disagreement, when we look back, we can smile about it and we can just look at it fondly because it makes us who we are, right? It makes the relationship that we have so special, because there's so much love and there's so much respect and there's so much friendship at the base of this connection. Pile number 1, let's take a look at across time and space. I am sending you. So what is your future spouse sending you energetically right now? For my pile number 1s, what is my pile number 1's future spouse sending them energetically right now? I don't know how many cards that was. We have the High Priestess. You're already connected to this person. For my pile number ones, that's coming through loud and clear. You're already connected to this person. You have a connection to them. For many of you, this is like a soulmate type of situation, maybe even a divine counterpart. Some of you are already aware of like the connection, even if you don't know this person in your real life. You may be like, you may feel their energy around you already. So we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Moon card, and we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, okay. So across time and space, what your future spouse is sending you is comfort. Your future spouse wants you to know that it is okay for you to choose yourself. It is okay for you to take care of yourself, and it is okay for you to give yourself permission to be where you are at right now. Your future spouse is saying if you are going through a difficult period where everything feels overwhelming or where it feels like you cannot see a world in which you and your future spouse are going to be together and be happy, or you're bummed out that it's taking so long, or you're bummed that you haven't met yet, or you're starting to doubt that what you desire in love and relationships is possible, your future spouse is saying, please don't do that. Please know that we will meet, we will connect, and we will build a beautiful relationship together. And what your future spouse is sending you at this time is comfort. And what your future spouse is sending you at this time is reassurance that you are already connected to one another and that this will happen. And your future spouse is also saying that they're walking with you as you move forward and as you move closer to them and as they move closer to you. For some of you, you may be in a dark night of the soul where things are just falling apart and it feels like life is lifing, right? Life is doing what it does and it's bringing in challenges and obstacles, and it could feel very overwhelming. Your future spouse is saying, I've got you. I'm here with you. I'm holding your hand even though we're not connected physically just yet. And your future spouse wants you to know that there is clarity, that there is light coming in, that there's a new beginning and there's more ease on its way to you. And both of you are moving towards one another. Underneath this High Priestess, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Something new is beginning. This is the connection. The Five of Pentacles and the Four of Cups underneath that. So part of what's happening is that certain things that aren't working or aren't sustainable or aren't viable options for both of you in your lives currently, they're falling apart so that something new can fall together. And part of what is going to fall together is this relationship, this opportunity with your future spouse. That's actually a very I want to say encouraging and like very sweet message. So let's check in with what is going on with your future spouse. So right now I am, and we're going to see what your future spouse is up to right now. So what is this person working on? What is this person focused on? What is this person going through at this point in time? So right now I am. Let's see what your future spouse is up to. The Magician. I said this earlier, but I do feel pile number one, your future spouse is really focused on abundance, prosperity, on setting the foundations that are going to last a very long time, especially around career and finances and any goals that they may have. We also have the Ten of Wands, we have the World card, and we have the Hanged Man. So your future spouse, I do think there is a level of mirroring one another happening here, but your future spouse is actively creating the life that they want. your future spouse is being very intentional about like brick by brick, step by step, what it is that they're building for their future. And I think part of that involves figuring out what is a priority for them. So I do think for both of you, there is an element of like a dark night of the soul, or just things falling apart so that other things can fall into place. So that could be, a transition period for both of you. But for your future spouse, right now, your future spouse is focused on closing chapters that are no longer working for them and opening new ones. And I do think that your future spouse is taking a little bit of a break when it comes to love and relationships, and when it comes to anything that is outside of like career and finances. Like, it feels like this is someone who is really focused on the bag right now, especially with this magician card being here. And I also think that your future spouse, part of what they're going through is becoming more aligned with their higher self. And that's part of the reason why certain things are falling apart, and part of the reason why they're being intentional about prioritizing what comes next in their life. So, this could be a time for your future spouse where they're closing out relationships or connections, not even necessarily romantic ones, but like maybe there's a friendship that is no longer working, right? Maybe there is a partnership or something that has to do with like career or work or finances that's not working. This person is right now focused on, what do I need to do to get to where I want to be? And I have to say, part of what your future spouse is doing is making sacrifices for the long-term vision of where they want to be. And that could be because this person is working long hours. That could be because this person is closing out situations or connections or opportunities. That could be like there's some sort of shift that your person is going through, that in the long run, it's going to help them manifest what they desire and live the life that they want. But it's really taking them, it's really taking a lot of their time and energy to do this at this time. So please know this. What does your future spouse want to say to you? And this is going to be like a reassurance or a vow that your future spouse is sending your way. So please know this. We're going to do 3. Bottom of the deck, we have Temperance. There we go. We have the Lovers. I just noticed YouTube hates to see a boobie. There we go. We have the Lovers, we have the 2 of Swords, and we have Strength card again. So one thing that your future spouse is saying to you is, please know that your soulmate is out here. That your person, that your future spouse, that the person that is going to love you and care for you and be there for you is out here. Do not doubt that I exist. Do not doubt that we will build a life together. And your future spouse wants you to know that your strength and courage, that your ability to move through any difficulty is going to pay off, especially as you move through the unknown of not meeting them or not being with them right now at this point in time. And your future spouse wants you to know that they are going to choose you every chance that they get, and that they are going to choose you sooner than what you think. Yeah. And you know this. You know this deep in your core, pile number 1. Let's take a look at until then. So what is the guidance for you? What is the guidance for you that your future spouse is sending your way? What is the guidance your future spouse is sending your way? So we have the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Cups. Bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Five of Pentacles. So what your future spouse is sending as guidance for you, and this is your future spouse's higher self, this person is saying, feel all the things that you are feeling. Cry if you need to cry. Be upset. Be angry. Grieve that you have not connected just yet, but don't give up. Focus on the things that you can control. Focus on preparing for this union. And don't allow life to pass you by in the meantime. Don't be in a place where you are so focused on what hasn't happened that you cannot appreciate what is already in your life. And I think a big message for this group is focus on what you can control in the meantime. Because, and I know people hate when I say this, and trust me, I've had readings myself where somebody has said it and it boils my blood. But there is an element of, divine timing, of two people needing to be in the right time, at the right space, at the right, juncture in their lives to have this connection. And I think it is close. But I also think this is really saying just be present for yourself. And don't be so focused on what hasn't happened that you miss out on what is already happening and what is beautiful in your life. So I think for this group, being able to say, I don't have everything that I want yet, but there are things that I can be grateful for, and focusing on what those things are could be very helpful. And knowing that the things that haven't worked out, or the things that haven't turned out in the way that you wanted them to, or you thought they would, especially if it's like a past relationship, it was a blessing in disguise, and that you are not alone because your future spouse is already with you. And that you can break free from any limiting belief that you are alone and that you are not gonna find each other. Let's take a look. Pile number 1. So I pulled some additional cards that have messages. We're gonna see what your future spouse would say to you. Take these as they resonate. So first we have you. That is a typo. You're in my dreams every night. So I do think for this group, you both do dream of one another from time to time. There is a connection here that is already established. For some of you, maybe you do know who this is. For others of you, you haven't met them, but there is like this, you can sense their energy. You can feel their energy. We also have, you need to protect your energy, right? So taking care of yourself, doing what you need to do for you. We need to make room for this union to happen. And I think that's what both of you are doing, especially on your future spouse's side. Because this reading was mainly focused on them. It definitely feels like this person is doing what they need to do to welcome in this connection, this relationship. So I think that's true for both of you. Let's see what else we have here. Fate. Ooh, this is a destined partnership. So trust and believe that this is going to unfold. This is going to come together. Leap of faith. So it is safe to make the move that you are considering. And play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. But also, pile number 1, just, again, that gratitude, having a good time, taking advantage of the opportunities that are in your life and not ignoring what is already wonderful and what is already available to you. Let's take a look. Final messages here. What do we have? We have be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care. So being intentional about expressing yourself, not only when it comes to your future spouse and a romantic relationship, but in general could be very helpful. And then we have love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is helpful and withstands every situation. And that's the thing, right? Trusting that you know that you are meant to experience this and that this, you will find this and this will find you, right? Because you do have a say in this. But pile number one, that is what I have for you. Your affirmation for this week, I believe in my happily ever after. That's cliche, but I believe in my happily ever after is my affirmation for my pile number ones. Claim it in the comments if you want to. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Stay tuned for the next poll. It will be up very, very soon. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk very soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Prince Phillip and Sleeping Beauty, or Aurora, Briar Rose, whatever you want to call her. And this is the Lover's card. So we're going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is time-stamped below. It's going to tell you exactly what is going to be answered during this reading, and that should help you figure out if this is the right reading for you. I highly, highly suggest that you check that out. But to get started, we are going to start by looking at who is your future spouse. And we have, dolphin energy. Every time I see the dolphin pile number two, it reminds me of like golden retriever energy, which is great. And then we have the elk. Okay. So balance, right? We have some balance here. And then we have the truth card. So pile number two, who is your future spouse? So in this deck, the dolphin has the element of water associated with it. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The elk has the element of earth. So we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I would say truth is some air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Obviously, your person doesn't have to have one of those signs for this to be your reading. And when we talk about natal charts, we all have something going on in there, right? We all have most, if not all, of the signs happening at some point in one of the houses or, within the planet. So keep that in mind. But let's talk about who is your future spouse. For my pile number twos, I think that your future spouse is somebody who is a lot of fun, someone who likes to have a good time. But what's interesting is that this person has this is somebody who has a lot of aspects of themselves. Like, this isn't somebody who just has one side to them and that's all that they lean into. And obviously, as humans, we are multifaceted. But your future spouse is especially multifaceted because I think that this is somebody that likes to have a good time, and this is somebody who knows how to play hard. But this is also somebody who knows how to work hard, and somebody who is very responsible, and someone who knows how to find balance between those two aspects of self. One thing I want to say for my pile number twos is that I do think that your future spouse is very charming, very funny. This person feels like they have a great sense of humor. Like, they will make you laugh. They're very good at like making other people feel at ease when they are around them. I also think that your future spouse is somebody who is very intelligent and very easy to get along with. When it comes to your future spouse, this person has a motto of work hard, work smart, not hard. So this is somebody who has a lot of responsibilities, who carries a lot of responsibilities, but at the same time, this isn't somebody who is going to prioritize work over everything else in their life. This isn't somebody who is going to spend 60, 70 hours in the office and ignore the other parts of their life. This is somebody who is very intentional about how they spend their time and energy. And I think that your future spouse has a very clear understanding that yes, work is important, finances are important, but also there's so much more outside of that that matters. And this person really wants to make sure that they're living life to the fullest, that they're taking advantage of their life and not just working to have certain things or working to afford certain things. That being said, I do think your future spouse is very abundant, but I also think that they prioritize certain experiences and their time and energy over materialistic items. This person feels very down to earth, very grounded, very simple. Um, this feels like somebody who enjoys being out in nature. This could be somebody that has, like, they like to go hiking or they play a sport. That's coming through. I do think this person is very active as well. Like, they make sure to stay active and to take care of their body. That's coming through very strongly here as well. And one thing about your future spouse is don't underestimate them. No one should ever underestimate your future spouse, because every time that they do, they're going to be proven wrong. But also, I do think that your future spouse, when they feel that somebody is underestimating them or somebody's not realizing all that they have to bring, that almost propels them forward. That almost gives this person more energy to keep working harder and to prove the other person wrong. This is somebody that is quite blessed. So this is somebody that, don't get me wrong, this person works hard, but there's also a lot of blessings. Like, this is somebody that feels very lucky as well. So it could be like, they're always winning contests, or things just work out in their favor, or they're like the type of person that always like finds money when they're walking around, or they meet the right people and they're offered the right opportunities. There's something about your future spouse that feels very lucky. And I think part of that is because this person allows blessings to find them. This isn't somebody who's trying to force things. This is somebody who's very good at going with the flow and allowing things to unfold naturally. I will also say, pile number 2, your future spouse is very stable, and stability is very important to this person. So this is somebody who's going to be reliable. This is somebody that you can count on. This is someone who's going to keep their word. So if they say something, they promise something, their word is key. Their word is going to be honored. That's coming through strong here, especially with the truth card being here. And no matter what's going on, this is somebody that can remain centered and grounded within themselves. And I do think that your future spouse is very kind and supportive and compassionate and loving. I also think that this is somebody that really enjoys taking care of other people and making sure that other people have what they need. Your future spouse is also very clear about what their values are. So this is somebody who really operates under a specific set of values, and they know not to stray away from those values because they know what matters to them. This is not somebody who's going to sell out for the right opportunity or for money or for anything like that. I do think there is a little bit of your future spouse is sometimes a little bit hard-headed or a little bit stubborn. So this is somebody that can sometimes get a little stuck in their ways. But this is somebody who also, once they realize that they're wrong or that something needs to change, they're willing to make the change. I will say one thing that's coming through for your future spouse is I think when they're stressed, they can stress eat. That's coming through. I also think that this person may be very good at cooking, or this is somebody who's like a foodie. Like it feels like this person really connects with food and connects with their body, which is very interesting. They could have very strong earth placements based on what's coming through here for them as a person. So it could be that they have like pretty strong Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn placements. It could be Sun, Moon, Rising. There could be a stellium. There could be something going on there that feels significant for this person. This person could have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in their second or sixth house. Could be that Chiron is in their second or sixth house. That's very specific, so only take it if it resonates. Your future spouse is very trustworthy, pile number 2. That's coming through loud and clear. Your future spouse is very, very trustworthy. All right, pile number 2, let's get started. So for this group, I will be using the Eras Tarot, Taylor's version, to do the reading, and we will be shuffling on camera. So we're going to start by looking at the prompt of my love. So what your future spouse wants to say to you right now. What is the first thing your future spouse wants to say to you right now? For my pile number 2s, what does my pile number 2's future spouse want to say to them right now? Bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Pentacles with Delicate. Queen of Cups with Marjorie. Then we have the Ace of Wands with Welcome to New York. And finally, we have the Ten of Wands with Long Story Short. So pile number 2, the first thing that your future spouse wants to say to you is that both of you are working towards a new beginning. Both of you are in a period of your life where there's some sort of transition into a new beginning, or there's a brand new beginning that has just begun for both of you. Your future spouse wants you to know that this is a good time to close out any cycles or any chapters, and that is what both of you should be focusing on so that you can create the opportunity to connect with one another. I do think for this pile, for some of you, you may already know who this person is. And if that's the case, this could be somebody that you are currently in a relationship with, or someone that maybe there's like a slight separation or no contact, but this doesn't feel like there are any hard feelings here. If you do know who this person is, it just feels like this is a time where both of you are focusing on prioritizing what matters and prioritizing yourselves so that you can welcome in the opportunity to either reconnect to this person or meet this person for the first time. And it feels like for my pile number 2s, for both of you, there's been a lot of emotional healing that has been happening. And your future spouse wants you to know that you are both doing a great job moving through this period of your life. And with the Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles being here, in the Justice card, this is gonna, I think for most of you, you may either reconnect or meet this person within the next like 3 to 9 months. That's coming through, so take that as it resonates. And for those of you that do know who this person is, they may be making their way towards you and they may have an offer when they come your way. And it feels like it's a lot sooner than maybe you both thought possible. For those of you who don't know who this person is, it's a very similar message. I do think this person is already on their way to you, and both of you are going to have the opportunity to connect. Um, but it's just kind of wrapping up certain cycles is what's been happening here, and preparing yourselves to welcome each other in to your lives, to allow this to unfold naturally. Let's take a look. Goodness, these cards are so slippery. So we're going to look at here's how you'll recognize me. So what will help you know that what will help you know them or recognize them as your future spouse? And this could be like a first impression. This could be emotional, whatever wants to come through. But we're asking your future spouse, what will help you know, or here's how you'll recognize me, but what we're asking is how you'll know it's them. We have the Three of Pentacles, Ivy. We also have the Four of Pentacles, dancing with our hands tied. We have the Page of Swords with 15. And we have the Three of Swords with champagne problems. Some of you, I think for some of you, this connection is going to be either start out as a friendship, or actually, I think for most of you, this is going to start out as a friendship, or even if you know this person and there's been like a break, a separation, something along those lines, you kind of slow yourselves back into this. It's like, let's start slow, let's restart again, but let's take our time. Let's not rush into this. Let's not force this. And I think a part of how you're going to recognize this is because this person is going to make you feel safe, but also you're going to be able to communicate very easily with this person. There's something about the way that you talk to one another where it feels like very easy, very natural. It's almost like we finish each other's, I was going to say sandwiches, if you know, you know, but we finish each other's sentences types of things. That's coming through here for both of you. I also think that you're really going to love and enjoy being around them, especially when it comes to talking to this person. So even if you're not the type of person that like you enjoy long phone calls or like long conversations, this is going to be someone where you're just going to feel like you want to talk to them and just keep talking to them and keep talking to them, and the conversation never ends. This could be like the type of connection where, especially at the beginning, you're on the phone and it's like 7 hours later and you still don't want to hang up. You're going to want to be around your future spouse. And I think your future spouse is going to make you feel emotionally safe. Like your future spouse is going to feel emotionally safe, and they're going to feel like someone that you can open up to. For those of you where you already know this person and there may be a separation, and disclaimer, this only applies if you know who this person is and you want them back in your life. If those two things are not correct, then this is someone new for you. But if this is somebody that you already know, I think part of how you are going to recognize them is that when they come back, especially if there was like a breakup, a no communication, there was some sort of just emotional upheaval, they're going to come back with brand new energy. They're going to come back feeling very different, and it's going to feel more stable, and you're going to be more confident in their ability to show you what they want. And I also think that they're going to come in with more, like in a more intentional way, where if this person is somebody that you know and you would take them back or they come back into your life, they would come in with an offer. And again, for those of you that don't know this person, they're going to really, they're going to put the cards on the table. They're not going to hide where they're at. They're not going to play games with you. And they're going to make you feel understood. Not in like a love bombing type of way, but just like it's going to unfold very naturally. But I think there's a very strong mental connection. And when it comes to the communication, you're really going to know that this is your person. You're going to recognize the strong connection that you have to each other. So I fell in love with what they admire, love about you the most. Let's see what your future spouse is going to love and admire about you the most. For my pile number 2s, what will their future spouse love and admire about them the most? Bottom of the deck, the Magician, Mastermind. I think your future spouse is going to recognize how strong you are and how good you are at creating opportunities and making the best out of the situations that are in your life. There's something about you, pile number 2, that is very powerful, that feels very powerful to your future spouse, and they're really gonna love that about you. Let's see what else we have here. Goodness, these cards are very thin and very hard to pick up. Okay, so then we have the Lovers card. They're also going to love who you are to them. They're going to love that you're their soulmate. They're going to love that you choose them. And they're going to love the way that you make them feel, the way that you love them, the way that you care about them. 8 of Swords, right where you left me. And then we also have the Moon card with Cruel Summer. Pile number 2. So your future spouse is going to love how resilient you are. Like, there's something about you. You're a powerhouse. And this person sees it. This person admires you for it. For some of you, if you know who this person is and there's either a breakup, a separation, maybe it never really took off, one thing that this person is really going to love about you is that you don't feed into their crap, especially if this is somebody that, like, you met them and they were trying to play games or they wanted you to chase them and you just decided that you weren't going to do that. They absolutely love that about you. And even if this is somebody completely new, pile number 2, they love how strong you are and how you know your worth. And how you treat yourself and how you love yourself. I also think this person is going to love your ability to be self-aware and to hold yourself accountable. I don't think your future spouse has met many people like you, especially when it comes to romantic partners, because you're the type of person that you're going to take accountability. And if you have to apologize, you will. And if you have to stand your ground, you will. And I think that that's something that your future spouse is really going to love about you. I also think that your future spouse is going to love your depth, right? Like, you can have such deep emotions. You can show up and be so loving and feel things so deeply. Some of you may identify as an empath or a highly sensitive person. And your future spouse is going to love that about you and love your ability to feel things so deeply and to be such a loving and compassionate and caring person. And for those of you that, like, you've been fighting some inner demons, your future spouse is going to see that and they are going to admire that. They're going to admire your grit. They're going to love your grit. Let's take a look at the love I'll offer you will be like. So what is the love that your future spouse offers you like, or how will they love you? How is my pile number two's future spouse going to love them? How will my pile number two's future spouse love them? So this is how they love you, how they show up for you, how they show love to you. We have the Seven of Wands, no body, no crime. We also have, I love these cards as far as images, but cardstock is horrible. The Hierophant, so should have said no. We also have the Seven of Pentacles with stay, stay, stay. And we have the Death card with all too well 10-minute version. So how this person is going to love you is they are going to, I think first and foremost, they're going to really take care of you. This feels like somebody who wants to protect you, someone who wants the best for you, someone who is willing to go fight your battles if that is what you need them to do. Though I do think this person would be understanding of you telling them, like, you know what, I'm okay, I can handle this, I just need you to be here for me. But your future spouse is going to love you in a way that feels very protective. Like this person feels like they are protective over you. Like they want to protect you. They want to take care of you. They want to make sure that no harm comes to you. This person's love is going to be very consistent, very reliable, and very that's the way I can describe this. It feels consistent, it feels reliable, and it feels like something that you can count on. Like this person is always going to be there to have your back, and they're always going to be there to take care of you. And I also think that the way that your future spouse is going to love you is going to transform your entire outlook on love and your entire life as well. This feels like a very deep love. This person may have like a Venus in Scorpio or a Venus in like Cancer or Pisces. This person could potentially have strong Scorpio placements as well. Like this is the type of person, like they love you, they're all in, they're ride or die. But at the same time, it feels very grounded, very reliable. They could have a very strong Venus placement that's coming through. And pile number two, this person is going to be very patient as well with you. And I think when it comes to how they'll love you, this person is going to be physical touch seems like one of the important love languages for this person. I would also say acts of service. And maybe even like gifts. For some reason that's coming through. I get a very protective type of love that is being highlighted and emphasized here. Like this person is going to be very protective over you. Let's see what's, yeah, Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. Underneath that, the Ace of Cups. They're going to be very encouraging as well. They're going to want the best for you. They're going to encourage you. But again, they really want to protect you. They don't want to see you get hurt. They don't want to, like, this person feels very protective. Not in a controlling or weird way, but just in a very, I've got your back. I want to take care of you and I want you to be okay. Let's take a look at a moment or memory that I love. So what is something that you've shared, a glimpse into the future, a moment or memory that you will create with your future spouse that they are going to love? And this is meant to give us like a little bit of a glimpse into your future together. Goodness me. And then we have bottom of the deck, the Queen of Wands, New Romantics. Knight of Wands with Style. Two of Swords with Back to December. And King of Wands with Call It What You Want. So I'm getting a couple of scenarios. For some of you, your holidays with this person are going to be very important or very memorable. For others of you, I think there may be like traveling or just like going on adventures together. And those are going to be some of the things that you remember. But I also think your future spouse is saying part of the beautiful memories and moments that we share together are the hard times, are those times where you or I or both of us are going through a difficult experience and we are there for one another, we are supporting one another, and we are showing up 100% for one another. I also think for some of you, there is a point in time or a moment in time where you have to either like start completely new or you choose to create some form of change that is for the better, but it's going to require almost like uprooting your life. So for some of you, it could be that you move to a different city, to a different state, to a different country, to a different area. For others of you, it could just be like, you know, you're changing careers, or I actually feel for some of you, it's a move. Like you pick up and you go. And that's going to be a moment in time of like we did this together and we made it through and we made the best of it. And we can count on each other. And I love that that's something that we experienced. For some of you, again, there's going to be like adventures, like going on traveling trips, or like maybe, you know, just going and doing something that you both enjoy. That is going to be how you build memories. The Five of Pentacles. Part of also what you're going to create together is a connection where neither of you has to feel alone. Neither of you has to feel left out. And I think some of the moments that you're really going to look back on fondly from the future is going to be those moments where you've got each other's backs and it's just the two of you trying to figure out a solution and a forward movement, if you will, and like the next steps, and you do that together as a couple, as a partnership. I'm also seeing like there's going to be moments in time where things are going to really change and shift. And how both of you are there for one another is going to be part of the beauty that you share together and those memories that you think fondly back on. So pile number 2, next one is going to be across time and space. I'm sending you. So what is your future spouse energetically sending you right now? What is your future spouse energetically sending you right now? Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Christmas Tree Farm. And we have the Five of Swords, the Great War. The Queen of Wands, New Romantics. And red, well, Eight of Wands with red. So, pile number 2, the energetic energy that your future spouse is sending you right now is encouragement as you face a challenging time. And also this person is sending you some sort of like opportunity. And this person is encouraging you to dream big and to think big and think outside of the box. and allow yourself to either create or accept, or it could be create and accept an opportunity that's coming in for you. I'm actually hearing accept. So accepting something that is already either on its way to you or something that is pending your choice for some of you. And this has to do with creating more stability and more abundance in your life. And for others of you, your future spouse is sending you loving energy. Your future spouse is sending you like this just very loving, very caring energy and very encouraging energy that your higher self is already receiving. For some of you, what your future spouse is going to be sending you is like a dream or a vision or like a prophecy type of situation where you're going to see what's possible between the both of you. Some of you may get a glimpse of who this person is, even if you don't know them. And for those of you that maybe you're not sure if the person on your mind is your future spouse, like maybe you would like them to be, but maybe you don't think they will be, or you're not sure, you may get some sort of confirmation very, very soon. So take that as it resonates, because I think it's going to be different things for different people. But for some of you, you're going to be receiving some form of confirmation that's going to be coming in very soon. And this is your future spouse with this Eight of Cups being here saying, always, always, always do what's right for you. Do what's best for you. Honor yourself and the experience that you want to have. And also know that the choices that you have made and that you are making for yourself are right. So if there's something that you've done that maybe you are doubting yourself on, there's a message coming through that you did the right thing, that you are on the right path. All right, pile number 2. So right now I am, what is your future spouse up to right now? So we're going to kind of peep in and see what your future spouse is up to right now. What is this person working on, experiencing? What's going on for them right now? Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. You're on your own, kid. So it could be that your future spouse is kind of doing some introspecting. It could be that your future spouse is kind of just a little bit going within and not too outwardly focused at this time. But let's see what else we have here. The Sun, the Two of Pentacles with the Archer, and the Six of Wands with Mean. So when it comes to your future spouse and what this person is up to right now, I think your future spouse is in a place where they're kind of trying to figure out what they want and what their next steps are. I think this person is questioning what brings them joy and what makes them happy. I also think that your future spouse is questioning what is not making them happy and what is just kind of wasted energy, if you will. And I think this person is struggling, or at the very least juggling, two different possibilities or something that needs to be decided on. And what they're trying to figure out is what the best path for them is. So for some of you, it could be that your future spouse is currently at some sort of crossroads and they're trying to figure out, do I go left? Do I go right? What is the right choice for me? And they're trying to create balance in their life, but it feels like at this point in time, they're not ready to decide. They're kind of just hanging back and they're trying to figure out what the right answer is. We have that Nine of Pentacles, so this could be like maybe there is a work opportunity, maybe somebody offered them like a promotion, but they're not sure if they want extra responsibility, or maybe they're trying to figure out if it's time to leave a current employer and go somewhere else, or they're trying to figure out how to create more balance in their life. But it does feel like this person is kind of in this introspecting, contemplating phase where they're trying to figure out what the next step is and how they should proceed, because there's some sort of crossroads, there's some sort of fork in the road that they have got to make a choice on, that they have got to pick a side on, if you will. And it almost feels like this person is going through like a life review of like, this is how I got here. Do I want to keep going down this path, or do I need to make any changes? But I think for my pile number 2s, your future spouse knows that something has to shift, that something isn't quite where they want it to be. And that's what's taking them some time to figure out how they're going to get there. All right, so let's take a look at please know this. And this is going to be a reassurance or a vow that your future spouse is sending to you. So please know this. What do my pile number 2s need to know? Bottom of the deck, we have the Magician again with Mastermind. We have the Ace of Swords with We Are Never Getting Back Together. We also have the World card with Love Story. And we have the Seven of Swords with I Did Something Bad. So pile number 2, one thing that your future spouse is sending your way is clarity. And I think that your future spouse wants you to know that there is an ascension coming in. There is a new understanding, a deeper understanding. And I also think that this person's higher self may send you messages that come through like outside sources, or maybe you're listening to an audiobook or watching a movie or watching a show or listening to a song, and it feels like something is speaking to you, like an answer is being given to you. This is your future spouse's higher self sending you information. And I think for this group, you can absolutely connect to this person and like send each other messages telepathically. And for those of you that know who this person is, and there could be like a no contact or a break or a separation here, they may actually be reaching out to you very, very soon. Yeah, that's coming through. For some of you, this person is going to be reaching out very, very soon if you know who they are. And with the Seven of Swords here, this person, for those of you that know who this person is and they reach out, they're going to be sharing something with you. They're going to be giving you clarity on what happened. For some of you, if you don't know this person, your future spouse is saying that they will be honest with you. And they're never going to lie to you. But I also think this person's higher self is sending some sort of clarity that is going to help you close out a cycle. For some of you, the closure, the chapter that you're closing has to do with somebody that you already know, right? So if this is somebody that you already know, you've met, but like it didn't work out, or it never took off, or there's a no contact, it's both of you closing the chapter and opening a new one if you choose to. And for those of you where this is something completely new, you may experience some level of realization that helps you close a chapter and open a new one. And it has to do with something, it feels emotional. It feels like the realization of something that really kind of clears things up, not only emotionally, but mentally as well. Let's take a look at until then. So what is the guidance for you from your future spouse's higher self? That was a terrible shuffle. Let's try that again. What is their guidance for you? What is the guidance for my pile number 2s? bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords with Mirror Ball. And then what else do we have here? We have the King of Pentacles with Bejeweled. And we have the Seven of Wands with No Body, No Crime. So pile number 2, the guidance for you at this time is ground yourself. Keep yourself centered. Be present in the present moment. Don't allow your fears to get in the way. Don't think about worst case scenario. Don't allow yourself to feed into worst case scenario. Continue to move forward. And we have the King of Pentacles here. So this is really saying, you know, build up your confidence, build up your sense of self, your stability. Focus on the life that you already have and the things that are there for you in the meantime, as you either prepare to reconnect or to meet this person for the first time. And I think a big part of this guidance is really taking care of yourself and practicing self-care and giving yourself what you need. And I think for this group, a big thing is going to be being present in the present moment and not trying to figure out what's next or how it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. Not seeing it from a place of doubt of like, this maybe won't happen for me, or what's taking so long, or, you know, whatever else is coming up. With the Queen of Swords, being careful as well with like overthinking and overanalyzing, and again, setting boundaries, keeping yourself grounded can be very helpful. Keeping yourself centered, keeping yourself in the present moment. And follow your intuition. Follow the opportunities that show up. Accept the opportunities that show up. It's very interesting because this message almost feels like, you know, the guidance is keep doing what you're doing. And it's not necessarily something that you haven't done that is keeping this from coming together. Like, it just feels like it will. And it's going to be different timelines for different people, but it will come together. But in the meantime, making sure that you're doing what you need to do and that you're following yourself and you're following your own intuition, and that you're connecting with the right people that you love and the people that care about you, and that you're taking advantage of everything that is available to you in the meantime. Let's take a look. We have some additional messages, so take these as they resonate. So the first one we have is, I love to see you thrive in your goals and passions. Yeah, so for this group, I mean, we did have that King of Pentacles as the guidance. So like, continue to work towards your goals, whether that is professional, financial, personal, spiritual goals. Just continue to work towards them. We have I am sorry. For some of you, you know this person. What else do we have? Don't overthink how things will happen. And I think this is very true whether you know this person or not. Not allowing yourself to go into a place where you're overthinking, overanalyzing, to the point where you can't be present in the present moment and you're trying to stay ahead of it, because you can't control how this is going to happen because it involves another person. You can just be prepared and be in a place where you are accepting the opportunities that are showing up for you. Let's see what else we have here. So we have mastery. You've learned the spiritual lesson. And that's what's preparing you here, right? That's what's getting you to this place where you can connect. Then we have obsession. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. And this could be just obsession with when, how, what's taking so long, not being able to focus on anything else because the main focus is this connection and how it's going to come together. And then we have decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. So for some of you, this is speaking to, if there's somebody that's trying to come back in, it may be time to decide if you want to welcome them back in or not. But also getting clear about what you want and allowing it to come your way and allowing yourself to take the opportunities that are going to connect you to what you desire. Let's see what we have here. Relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. So for some of you, there may be a need to change something, whether it's a pattern or a cycle or just an approach. Take this one as it resonates. But if you know there's something that you need to change, working on that could make this connection, this partnership come together a lot faster. And then we have choose love. You always have choice. Make yours with love. Very interesting. So we had this decision that it's like time to decide about this relationship. And now we have choose love. You always have choice. Make yours with love. So always choosing love in how you speak, in how you act, not only to others, but to yourself. Pile number 2. For your affirmation for the week, I choose love. Simple, to the point. I choose love. That is your affirmation for the week. Claim it in the comments if you feel called to. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Stay tuned for the next poll. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to Princess Ariel and Eric, and this is the 4 of Wands. So I'm going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is going to tell you exactly how this reading is going to go, what's going to be answered, how the cards are going to be shuffled, and the decks that are going to be used. So I highly suggest that you check that out. Again, it is timestamped below. But to get started, we are going to look at who is your future spouse. And pile number 3, you had the most cards come out in the pre-shuffled section. For your future spouse, there was an extra animal spirit card that just flew out, and they kind of came flying out all 3 together. So I'm going to honor that. Let's see what we have here. We have the beaver, the spider. Ooh, the elephant. Okay. And then finally we have insight. So pile number 3, let's talk about it because this is very interesting. So we have a few signs represented here with the beaver card. On this deck, we see the beaver represented by water, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We see that element of earth with the spider card, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and we see the element of fire with the elephant, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then insight, I would say that is some air signs. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all that to say all 12 zodiac signs are represented here at this point. So obviously take that as it resonates. I just like to mention them because I know people enjoy when I do. But who is your future spouse? I think this is somebody that is quite interesting because I think that your future spouse is very loyal and very hardworking. And I do think this is somebody who is very family oriented. So it could be that your future spouse has a family that they are very close with. It could also be that this is somebody that knows that they want to create a family of their own, and that is something that is very important to them. Your future spouse has like a very happy energy to them, in the sense that this is somebody that looks at the world as the glass half full instead of half empty. Your future spouse really does feel like an optimist. This feels like somebody who is finding ways of, even when things aren't going their way, they're going to find something to be optimistic about and something to focus on. I think that's very important for this person, and I think that your future spouse would struggle to be in a relationship of any sort with someone who is like glass half empty type of person, or someone who is a pessimist. Like, this feels like somebody who really wants to see the best in the world and see the best in other people. And they may struggle if they are surrounded by negativity. So I do think that part of what your future spouse really values is having people and experiences that feel very just hopeful and very joyful, and finding solutions and finding opportunities even when things don't feel as possible or as hopeful or as optimistic as they would like. And I do think that your future spouse is someone that likes to see their projects through. So this is somebody where if they start something, they're going to see it through. But I also think that this person is very creative. And because they're very creative, they do have a lot of ideas. So sometimes they may have to figure out what they want to prioritize and figure out what is most important to them at that point in time. But I think that your future spouse is very good at figuring out what their long-term goals are. And based on their long-term goals, that is where they invest their time and energy. This does feel like somebody who really enjoys work and working hard, as long as there is a return that is worth their time. This could be somebody that is like an entrepreneur, or this could be somebody that has multiple streams of income that's coming in very strongly as well. This could be somebody that does work that is very creative. But one thing about your future spouse is that they are very enthusiastic. They're always looking for opportunities and for ways to either try something new or to find a solution to a problem. So they're very innovative as well. I also think that your future spouse is quite blessed, and your future spouse has a lot of spiritual protection around them. I also think that this person doesn't always know how to honor when they are exhausted and when they need a break. So sometimes that can be very difficult for your future spouse to just say, you know what, let me take a break, or let me prevent the burnout, because they kind of always want to push forward and get to the other side of the challenge, or get to the other side of the goal. But your future spouse is very focused. In relationships, I do think this is somebody that's very loving, very generous, very caring, very kind. But I also think that your future spouse is someone that is almost unstoppable. And at times they can kind of get very wrapped up in what they've got going on. So sometimes they need to take a step back and give themselves a break and give themselves the opportunity to recharge. And one thing that your future spouse really hates is feeling stuck or feeling like they don't know what to do next. So this person really struggles when they're feeling stagnant. Your future spouse has a very powerful third eye. This person may very well be clairvoyant. So they may have the gift of clear seeing. This person has very vivid dreams, I feel like. That's coming through. For some of you, your future spouse has already dreamt of you, and they may recognize you from a dream, or you may feel familiar to them when you meet them if you haven't already met them. And there's something about your future spouse that's very gentle. Even though I think they can be a bit intimidating, they're also this is like a big teddy bear once you get to know this person. And your future spouse is very wise. I do feel like your future spouse is very good at reading patterns and cycles, especially when it comes to what they do for work. This person may be in real estate. This person may be in sales. This person could work like in finances as well. Your future spouse receives a lot of intuitive downloads. I don't necessarily know what your future spouse would call that, but they definitely receive a lot of intuitive downloads with information that really helps them. This is somebody who's very dependable and like they're very easy to get along with. Though I do feel your future spouse is probably more on the introverted side, that's coming through. Like this feels like somebody who's more introverted than extroverted. This person definitely needs time to recharge their batteries. And again, sometimes they forget to check in and to do that. Let's get started. So, pile number 3, we're going to start by by starting with my love. And this is, what does your future spouse want to say to you right now? So, we're going to start with the prompt or with the intro of my love. And this is what your future spouse would say to you right now, what they want to say to you right now. And this is your future spouse's higher self. If you know this person, this could be coming from them directly. Take it as it resonates. So, what does your future spouse want to say to you right now? All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card. Your future spouse wants you to know that you're already connected to one another, that you can already sense one another. I also think that your future spouse wants you to know that you have shared at least one past life with them. Wow, we have the 2 of Cups. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Cups. So there's a few things that your future spouse wants you to know, pile number 3. First and foremost, I think your future spouse wants you to know that they cannot wait to meet you or to reconnect with you. And they want you to know that you are soulmates, that you are meant for one another. And at the very least in this lifetime, you will have the opportunity to meet one another. And your future spouse is saying, I cannot wait to meet you, to connect with you, and to create a life where we can grow old together and we can build a life together. Your future spouse also wants you to know that they're getting a little bit impatient, and I think that this is probably true for you as well, but there's a level of just like impatience around this where your future spouse feels ready to have you in their life as we speak. And they are working very hard on manifesting you. And your future spouse is saying, continue to manifest me. Continue to work on this. Continue to focus on bringing this together, on bringing us together. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. We are going to be together sooner than what you realize. And your future spouse wants you to know that they're dreaming about you. They're daydreaming about you. They're thinking about what you are going to do together, how you are going to connect, how you are going to live your lives together and the type of life that you are going to build with one another. Your future spouse is sending messages telepathically to you. And again, it's something that you can do to connect with them. So send them messages and send them just all the love and all the desires. Send it and funnel it through and just send those feelings out. And there's just a lot of anticipation. This feels very sweet for you, pile number 3. This feels like very nurturing, very sweet, very again, a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement, and just like, I cannot wait for this to unfold, and I cannot wait for us to have this opportunity to connect with one another. And I'm imagining what that's going to be like, right? I'm daydreaming about what this connection is going to bring to my life, and what you're going to be like, what we're going to be like together, and how we are going to build a life together as well. And I think your future spouse is really ready for this, right? This, out of all the piles, this feels like the one where like this person is like, yeah, I'm ready, let's go. Like, I'm 100% in. So let's see what else we have here. So here's how you'll recognize me. So this is how you will recognize your future spouse. Here's how you'll recognize me. What will help you to know it's them? Right, you clearly want to come out. I will take these. I think that's 3. Bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups. You're going to get the butterflies. There's a lot of excitement here. Oh, it was 4. Okay. So the 5 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, the Death card, and the Chariot card. So I think, physically speaking, you will recognize this person. Like, you will be attracted to your future spouse. You will be kind of smitten with your future spouse. And I think that goes both ways. But I also think this is speaking to how will you know it's them. It's speaking to, you're going to be in a place where I think emotionally and mentally there's going to be a sense of like, this feels right, this feels familiar. But I also think that you're going to be in a place in your personal life where you no longer necessarily have to rely on other people's expectations or other people's ideas of what you should be doing. So, like, let's say that you meet and connect with this person, and there's somebody in your life that's telling you, like, I don't think that's the right person for you. Maybe in the past you would have taken that into consideration, but when you meet your future spouse, you will recognize them because you won't care what anyone else has to say. And it's almost like you feel sure, you feel 100% in, and there's a recognition in that way. And also, when you connect with each other, you are both going to be headed in the same direction, in the sense of what you will be planning and doing in your lives is going to be in perfect alignment. It's almost going to like fall into one another, and you're going to be headed in you're going to have very similar goals and very similar outlooks, and you're going to be headed in the same direction. There's also when you meet your future spouse, it's going to be a time in your life where there's going to be a lot of transformation. There's going to be a lot of things that are falling apart, but there's also going to be a sense of confidence and you being sure about yourself and your feelings and your intuition when you meet this person. But I do think physically, initially, there's definitely a spark there that allows you both to connect to one another and to give each other the time of day. Especially for you, pile number three, because I think there's going to be so much happening that maybe it's not a time where you're necessarily looking to date or to get to know someone, but you're going to feel the connection. You're going to feel the spark to the point where you do give your future spouse a chance. So I fell in love with what type of what does this person love about you the most? What does this person admire and love about you the most? So I fell in love with, this is what this person loves and admires about you the most. We have the devil card. Pile number three, this person is like, listen, pile number three, you are sexy, you are fine, you are handsome, whatever that description is for you, but this person is into it. This person is attracted to you. There is passion, there is chemistry. This feels like the type of connection that we can't keep our hands off of one another, and that is a big part of what what this person is going to fall in love with is, just how you look, the way that you make them feel, the excitement that you make them feel, if you will. Pile number three, we have Temperance, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Three of Pentacles. But guess what, pile number three, it's not just about the physical. It's not just about your body and being turned on and being attracted to you and having that passion and that chemistry. There's so much more than that, right? There's balance between that aspect and the emotional aspect. And there is a deep connection, a deep inner knowing, a deep sense of belonging that you feel with one another, that your future spouse is going to love about you. And I also think that this is going to be someone that is easy to talk to. And when it comes to them, you are easy to talk to. You are easy to get along with. You are, there's a lot of like, let's have fun. Let's laugh together. Let's enjoy our time together. And your sense of humor, and I think I'm hearing as well the way that you laugh at my jokes is part of what your future spouse is going to love about you. Like, not only the physical, but just like talking to you, the way that you laugh at their jokes. And I also think that you are very funny yourself. Pile number three, because I'm hearing like, not only do you laugh at my jokes, but like, you make me laugh. I enjoy spending time with you. I also think that you are going to bring peace to this person's life. And they're really going to love that. Like, they're going to feel at peace with you. They're going to feel at ease with you. Like, it's going to be easy. It's going to flow. Whenever you are around, whatever is going on feels a little easier. It feels better. It feels like they can overcome whatever is happening in their life at that point in time. And they're really going to love that about you. For some of you, this person is really going to love your lips. For others of you, there's something about the way that you dress or the way that you walk. Someone here cooks amazing, and this person is going to love it. Somebody here is a very good cook. Somebody here maybe bakes something. Maybe it's like you're baking. Some could be cooking. Some could be baking. Some of you could be both. Drop a recipe, pile number three. I also think that the time that you spend with one another is also something that your future spouse is going to fall in love with. Like, just the fact that you can do things together and it's so easy and it's so natural. This person is going to love how caring you are. And I think that this person is also going to love that you have an open mind and an open heart. That's coming through here as well, pile number three. So let's take a look at the love that your future spouse is going to offer you. So the love I'll offer you will be like, so what is this love going to be like? How will they love you? How will my pile number three's future spouse love them? Okay, we have that devil card there again. Pile number three. If you haven't seen the 18 plus reading, it's over on Patreon. It's not behind a paywall. It's completely free. The reason it's there is because the cards I use have nudity on them, and I can't show that here on the public page, but it's there. So if you want to find it, it's there for free. You just have to scroll and find it. It was probably posted like a month ago. But this person, part of how this person, physical touch, intimacy, they're not going to be able to keep their hands off of you. Pile number three. And that is part of how they're going to show how they love you. I'm seeing like kissing, hand holding, back rubs, all the things. All the things. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. This person's physical touch is very important to them. Six of Wands. Four of Swords. So this person is going to be very protective of you, but this person also wants you to feel seen. This person wants you to feel heard, and this person wants you to feel like the most beautiful, exquisite, awesome person on this planet. And I also think that part of the strong connection here is going to be doing the little things. I do think this is somebody who has like a strong attention to detail. So, you know, coming home and bringing in like flowers or like a cupcake, or maybe treating you to like a spa day, or saying like, here, go get your hair cut, or here, go get a mani-pedi, like go take care of yourself, go do the things. Like this person also feels like somebody who's going to remember the little things. So, you know, it's been a year since we went on our first date, or remember that 6 months ago this happened, or when you tell them about your work or like what's going on with your friends, this person is going to remember the details. So they're really going to love you in a way that feels very hands-on, but it's so much more than that as well. Like they are also going to pay attention. And I think that when it comes to how this person is going to love you, they're also going to help you heal, especially if you've had any like emotional heartbreak in the past where you kind of struggle with letting people in, or trusting someone, or letting yourself be fully vulnerable. This person is really going to help you heal that part of yourself, because how they'll love you is in such a consistent way that you are going to be able to put your walls down and allow them in and allow them to get close. I also think that this person is going to make you feel safe when it comes to like, just tell me what you like. That could be in and out of the bedroom as well. That's coming through. Like, I think there may be some exploration here when it comes to intimacy. Take that as it resonates. But this person is really going to make you feel comfortable as well to share the parts of yourself that maybe you haven't shared with anyone else. And they're going to make you not only feel like you can share with me, but also in a place of like, I know that if I share this part of myself, or if I open myself up, they're not going to judge me. They're not going to laugh at me. They're not going to use it against me at some point in time. So they're going to love you in a way that feels very reliable, but also very exciting in some ways. And I think this person, words of affirmation, like this person is going to tell you like, you're beautiful. I love you. I'm thinking of you. Good morning. Like this person is really going to like give you those words of affirmation. That's coming through. I think that's part of their love language. All right. Pile number 3. So let's take a look at a moment or memory that I love. So this is a glimpse into the future. And this is your future spouse telling you a moment or memory that they love that you have spent together or that you share with one another. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. For some of you, there's already like a very sweet message coming through. The Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So pile number 3, I think that a memory or a moment. There's actually a few. I'm going to share a few. I think for some of you, a memory or a moment that this person is really going to enjoy is moving in with you or buying like a house with you. Like that first, we're moving in together. This is our first house together. This is our first apartment together. This is us. Either, we've gotten married and now we're moving in, or we move in before we get married. However that plays out. But it almost feels like that's a very sweet memory of just, this is the start of our life together. And this is us building a beautiful life together. And I think that that's something that both of you are going to cherish as a memory. Because I think it's almost like we are just starting out together. We are like trying to figure out where to put everything. To me, it feels like this isn't someone moving in to someone else's place. This feels like this is both of you either going and like buying a house together or getting an apartment together and like you're both moving to this place. So it's not like everything is already set up and the other person is just like moving in. It's very intentional and it's very just, we're building this together. We're painting the colors that we want to paint the walls. We are buying the furniture. We are decorating the house. We are buying the items for the kitchen, the items for the bathroom. And it feels like that's going to be a very beautiful adventure for both of you. And it's going to signify the new beginning that you're both going to have. So like if you both have your own place, for some reason it feels like you both decide to like just get something new together. And maybe it is that you like live, like maybe somebody moves into somebody's house or somebody's apartment and then eventually you do this. But to me, this feels like two people that are coming in from separate areas, like from separate places and moving in together. And it feels very exciting. So take that if it resonates. I also think that there will be moments where it's like you're going to sporting events or you're going to concerts or you're going to like an arcade or I don't know, an amusement park or just to the beach. So there's going to be a lot of moments like that where it's just both of you spending time and having a good time together. And those are memories that you're going to cherish. For some, this could be travel, but to me, this feels like more local for some of you, where you're just out and about having a good time and you're creating like very beautiful memories. But this feels like on a typical like weekend. We're just going to go for a hike. We're just going to go to like a sporting event. We're just going to go to like an amusement park or a carnival, or we're going to check out like a karaoke place. I don't know why. I think for this group, the karaoke may be a thing that's coming up. But it just feels like you're going to have a lot of fun and you're going to build a lot of beautiful memories together. For someone here, only take this if it resonates, but if you want a child, I think one of the memories here is not only having that child, like bringing that child into the world and raising the child together, but for some of you, making the baby, if you will. That's coming through. This is a very like hands-on, very intimate, heavy, focused group or connection that's coming in here. So I do think, again, intimacy is going to be a big part here. Let's take a look at across time and space. I'm sending you. So what is your future spouse energetically sending you at this time? So energetically, what is this person sending you at this time? Let's take 3. Bottom of the deck, the Empress. I think this person is already sending you love and care and nurturing. I also think there may be some communication that's coming through. Yeah, this person is encouraging self-love and self-care. And this person is sending a lot of just like loving energy, a lot of loving vibes. I also think, energetically speaking, your future spouse's higher self is sending a lot of like protection. Not that I'm getting anything weird where like you need the protection or something's gonna happen or something they're trying to prevent something from happening. It just feels like this person is just sending a lot of like loving, protective energy your way. I also think that your future spouse is, it feels like they're sending like good vibes and they're trying to, it's almost like this person is sending the message of like, I'm trying to manifest this, let's manifest this together. There's reassurance that's being sent as well. I want to see what's underneath here. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles. There's like a nurturing energy that this person is energetically sending your way at this point in time. And it feels very soothing. It's like encouraging, nurturing, loving. I think this person, I think your future spouse thinks about you, their future spouse. And it's almost like I'm kind of seeing, you know, like the Care Bears when they're like sending like that energy blast and it's like going out from their heart. That's kind of what it feels like. And they send it your way. They send a lot of just, this person may pray for you or like send like good vibes your way. That's what this feels like to me. That's actually very sweet. I want to see what they're up to right now because the next one is right now I am. And this is going to be, what are they up to right now? What are they doing? What's going on for them right now? Spirit, so for my pile number 3s, what's going on right now with my pile number 3's future spouse? We have the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, the 9 of Swords. Oh, okay. So pile number 3, I think right now for your future spouse, they are going through a difficult point in their life. For some of them, they are feeling lonely. For others, it could be that they're going through the ending of a relationship or a situationship, if you will, or a connection. That's not going to resonate for everyone. For others, this is your future spouse at this point in time, just trying to figure out what their next move is and trying to figure out how they are going to create the perfect opportunity to meet their person. I've said this before, but I feel like out of all 3 piles, this is the pile where the future spouse feels like they're so ready and they're trying to manifest this, and they're getting like they're exhausted of waiting. They're getting annoyed with the wait. And I do think that this person is like kind of struggling through like sleepless nights or just feeling like they're ready for things. And I think what they're really ready for is a relationship that is not necessarily showing up for them. And they're kind of working through how they are going to bring this into their life and what their next steps are. I also think that your future spouse is struggling with impatience at this time. Yeah, because they know what they want. Your future spouse knows what they want, but they're struggling with creating it, and they're struggling with believing that it's going to happen at this point in time. It's like, well, why is it happening for everyone else? What's taking so long? I'm sick of this. That's what's coming through, and it's creating impatience, and it's creating like internal conflict. For a few of you, I do think this person could be going through the ending of a relationship. But for most of you, this feels more internal. This feels like something that they are going through within themselves and not necessarily within a relationship with someone else. This person, you know what's interesting, pile number 3? This is someone that is very optimistic, and this is somebody that wants to keep a optimistic outlook. And I said this, they are very like glass half full, but right now they're struggling with glass half empty, right? Like worst case scenario or pessimistic thinking, or just like, why isn't this working? Or why isn't this happening? So they are absolutely going through a difficult period in their life. And I think for some, they're kind of just keeping themselves isolated to some degree as they work through this. And for most of you, this does feel like really focused around love and relationships. So please know this. What is a reassurance or a vow that your future spouse wants to send your way? What is something that your future spouse wants you to know, such as like a reassurance or a vow that they're making to you? I wasn't going to grab all of those, but I will honor it because it felt right. The 3 of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles. The Lover's card. And the Page of Cups. So one thing that your future spouse wants you to know is that you will always be able to count on them. Your future spouse also wants you to know that they are making the choices and the moves that they need to make to speed up this connection and this meeting. And your future spouse wants you to know that they are working with their higher self. Their higher self is very involved in this in order to make this a reality. And your future spouse's priority right now is family and experiencing love and experiencing a connection that brings love into their life. And this is your future spouse saying, I want you to know that I am going to do everything that I need to do to make sure that this happens as soon as possible for the both of us. And your future spouse is learning to trust in the process, but also your future spouse is yearning for this romance, and your future spouse wants you to know that they will be bringing romance into your life, that they will be bringing goodness and excitement and partnership into your life. And your future spouse also wants you to know that they're going to be the best version of themselves because that's what you deserve. And even though it's taking longer than what they would like it to take, and I think it's the same for you, where it's taking longer than what you would prefer for it to take, that it is already being worked on and that the steps are being taken. And I think your future spouse is also saying, you keep doing the same thing because we are walking towards each other and we're going to meet halfway. So let's take a look at until then. So what is the guidance for you? What is the guidance that your future spouse wants to send your way until you meet, until you connect? What is the guidance your future spouse is sending your way? bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. Until then, I think this is your future spouse saying, until then, my heart is broken and I'm going through the feelings, but I'm also going to keep fighting for this. I'm going to keep moving forward with this. Until then, Two of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, the Empress card. Until then, so for your guidance, pile number 3, this is your future spouse saying, this new beginning is coming in a lot faster than what you both realized. I think that's very true for this group. I wouldn't be surprised if you meet this person within this year. And as I'm recording this, it is the end of June 2025, and this is a timeless reading, but I wouldn't be surprised if you meet this person within the next 6 months for most of you. And your guidance is to continue to push and fight for this and move towards this, but also to honor yourself and to take care of yourself and to nurture yourself in the meantime, and to allow anything that isn't working or anything that is keeping this from coming together to fall away. With the Ten of Swords here, your guidance is to choose, I don't want to say something new, but this is about choosing what is in alignment with what you desire. So when those opportunities show up, choosing them. When you realize that something is not in alignment with you, or something is going to cause delays, or something is keeping you tied to the past, or to an old version of yourself, or to an old connection, or to an old way of being, cutting the cord with that. I think for this group, if there was any like practical guidance, I think a cord cutting ceremony could be very helpful for this group. I want to see what's underneath this. Yeah, there's closing some chapters, closing some cycles, and processing any pain, any emotional healing as you welcome in and as you practice self-care, self-love, and build up your confidence and welcome in the opportunities that are going to come in that are going to connect you to one another. Pile number 3, I have some additional messages here. Let's see what they are. So first we have stop running from yourself. Okay. So yeah, facing the things that need to be faced, dealing with the things that need to be dealt with so that you can, again, it's almost like you're both walking and you're going to like intersect. Let's see what else we have here. I see signs about you all the time. Yeah, this person feels your presence. This person knows that you are out there. And that's why they're so excited to connect with you. There are soul lessons that we still need to learn. Yeah, so there's some things. And I think that your future spouse is going through some soul growth at this point in time. But there could be some things on your side as well. Take it as it resonates. But definitely on their side. Let's see what else we have here. Self-care. So clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. And I think that that's the case for both of you at this time. We also have second chance. This relationship deserves a second chance. So for some of you, if you know this person and there's a separation, that could be a message for you. But I also think for my pile number 3s, the second chance is coming in just as a reminder that you deserve love and you deserve to give yourself the opportunity for love. And I think that part of what your future spouse is working on is also like being in a place where they can believe that they deserve this and they can allow themselves to receive it. And then longing, someone is secretly yearning for you. Yeah, your future spouse is, yeah. They may not even know who you are, but they know they want you in their life. And this was the only group that got a third card of these. So let's see what we have. We have appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. So, yeah, experiencing love in the now, experiencing joy in the now. And sometimes that's hard, right? We're yearning for something, we want something and not receiving it right away, but knowing that it's on its way to you. And actions speak loudly, express your love through actions. So, also, this is absolutely about, when somebody is telling you something, making sure that their actions match their words. But I think that this actions speak loudly is both you and your future spouse doing what you need to do for yourselves so that you can practice self love and you can honor yourselves as you wait for this to come together and as you create space in your life for this to come together. And then we have forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointment. So it could be that part of what needs to be released for one or both of you. I'm not necessarily saying it's you, my viewer. It could be your future spouse, is like past disappointments, especially if there was something in love or if there's any heartbreak that exists there. Letting go of that and creating creating space in your hearts for more love and for possibility. But pile number 3, claim it in the comments. I am present. Actually, hold on. I don't know that I want to do that one. I love and appreciate this moment. I think that's a good one for this group, because being present in the now is what's going to help you. Again, it's almost like you're both walking and you intersect with one another. So I love and appreciate this moment. And it could be I love and appreciate myself in this moment as well. But pile number 3, claim it in the comments if you feel called to. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Stay tuned for the next poll, which is going to be for next week's reading. It will be up very shortly. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.